Sit. Shake. Good boy. Now, I bet you thought I was talking to my dog. The way we talk to animals goes to show the relationship between humans and animals is a very interesting one. That's the reason I'll be talking to you about this specific relationship today. In my presentation, I will start with a general explanation of the human-animal bond. To then talk about the evolution of this bond. I will go into a bit more detail about humans dominating the Earth. And finally, I will hypothesize on the future of the human-animal bond. The human-animal bond. The Human-Animal Bond Research Institute, or HABRI, is a research institute that looks at this specific relationship. They have defined the human-animal bond as a mutually beneficial and dynamic relationship between people and animals that is influenced by behaviors that are essential to the health and well-being of both. So, I think for humans, we can all see how humans can benefit from the relationship between people and animals. They can assist in our physical, social, emotional, psychological, and mental well-being. Think of animal-assisted therapy sessions. Office dogs are becoming very popular. Even goat yoga is very popular. But the way in which the human-animal bond can assist in the animal's well-being may not be as obvious. But research has shown that there is an increase in oxytocin levels in dogs after looking into their owner's eyes. And there is an increase in oxytocin levels in cats after playing with their owners. So just to clarify, oxytocin is referred to as the love hormone, and it plays a key role in connecting social interaction with feelings of pleasure. So in other words, higher oxytocin levels correlate to feelings of happiness from social interaction. So we can actually scientifically prove that the human-animal bond is also essential to the health and well-being of animals. Why is it, though, that we don't have to obey a higher species? Why do we, humans, become the dominant species on Earth? Fact is, we didn't start off as the dominant species. If we go back about 100,000 years, Homo sapiens were just one of many animals on the savannah. We loved, we played, we formed relationships, friendships, and we competed for status and power. But so did chimpanzees, baboons, and elephants. Better said, there was nothing special about humans. Prehistoric humans were insignificant animals. We were just another smart social ape trying to survive and get by, similar to our cousins, Homo neanderthalensis, Homo erectus, and Homo heidelbergensis. Other species, say monkeys, fish, and birds, would have had the exact same impact on the environment as humans. However, it was us, it was your humans' progeny that would go on to be the first to walk on the moon, crack the genetic code, and write history books. But why? How? Now, it wasn't a magical spark that made us the dominant species. According to Yuval Noah Harari, the author of *Sapiens: A Brief History of Humankind*, it was a mutation in our DNA about 70,000 years ago that sparked a so-called cognitive revolution and set us apart from other species. We, Homo sapiens, we developed a unique and complex language which allowed us to give detailed explanations of events that had taken place. We were able to gossip about each other, and we could tell myths, legends, and fictions. Altogether, we were able to cooperate comfortably in large groups, which was the key to dominating the Earth. From here on, the mutually beneficial relationship between humans and animals has evolved over time. At first, the interactions between the two were centered around humans obtaining resources from animals. Think of meat, bones, skins. As time went on, humans actually became more invested in animals' activities and started observing their migratory patterns, their food sources, and their behavior in general. As humans continued to coexist with animals, they started finding similarities with animals, and they even started including animals in their cultural ceremonies through worship, sacrifice, and symbolism. This increased interaction between humans and animals resulted in anthropomorphizing. This means we started ascribing human characteristics to animals. This was reinforced by physical appearances like facial features that were attributed to human emotions. Now I have a great example of this one, and that is the smiling Australian quokka. Now this is one of my favorite photos. This anthropomorphizing in turn contributed to the domestication of animals. In particular, animals that showed a connection through gaze or facial features were domesticized. One thing led to another, and soon humans started to breed animals with specific traits to meet human wants and needs. This is when the roles of animals changed from utilitarian to companionship, and the concept of having a pet was introduced. With regards to the future of the human-animal bond, I think we will continue to have pets to domesticize animals. In fact, I think the number of pets will increase over the next couple of years. The pandemic was a great example that instigated an increase in the amount of pets. Just a fun fact. To give you an idea, almost 9 million dogs had been acquired by households since the start of the pandemic in the US alone. Now that is the equivalent of the population of New York City. Besides that, I think people will come up with new breeds and more animals will be domesticized. And a great example of this is the miniature goat, which actually is very popular in Australia. Lots of people have pet goats. They're very cute, but I'm personally not a big fan of having a goat walking around my TV room. Finally, I see the bond between humans and animals growing stronger. And secretly, I hope this will spark an increased effort by researchers to try and replace, refine, and reduce the use of animal experiments in biomedical research over time. Now, these are all the resources I used, and if there's any questions, I am happy to answer them in the discussion.